I have been dating my girlfriend for 4 years. She has told me she always wanted children. We just didn't actively try for one, though. I never pressured her into having a baby. It was more so her idea. I make enough and we own a home, so having a baby is something we can do. So, to clarify, I'm not mad at her for this. I'm extremely concerned, and I feel like everything she has said about her wanting a baby was a lie. Abortion is also legal up to 21 weeks of pregnancy in our state. So she told me she was pregnant, she was having symptoms, and took a test. She was happy about it and excited. I was happy as well and offered to make an appointment for her. We both went together, and she was 6 weeks pregnant. We have been planning. She even told her friends and family. She ended up having a miscarriage at around 9 weeks. It was sudden, and she was upset, and I comforted her about it. It seemed very tough for her, so I did my best to try and make her feel better. I had to retrieve something from a drawer in our bedroom, and I found some herbs covered under a bag. It was pennyroyal and mugwort. I was confused because I have heard of pennyroyal being used to cause self-abortions. I asked her about it, and she immediately became defensive and told me that she didn't know where it came from. I kept trying to ask her about it, and she ended up telling me she used it to have a miscarriage. She was crying, and I was just in shock. I asked her why. I told her she didn't have to lie to me about it, and I'm confused because she was the one who really wanted a baby. She didn't give me an answer about it. I told her that we need to go to the hospital to make sure she isn't hurt, since pennyroyal is toxic, but she kept declining. It's been a few days, and she seems fine. I've been trying to ask her about this, but she just says she doesn't want to talk about it. Apparently, she was telling her friends and family she had a miscarriage and has been accepting condolences. She's avoiding this, but I don't want to push it towards her anymore. I'm not too sure what to do about this because I'm worried she might be having some type of mental breakdown or something. I eventually told her that she should not tell me about having a baby again, and I can't trust her about it anymore. She was upset hearing that. But what else could I say about something like this? This might make me a huge butthole, but in the back of my mind, have I been thinking she might have done this for attention from her friends and family? I don't know what to do, and I feel like a horrible person for even thinking about this stuff. I'm thankful for all the info on the herbs and all of the advice. I can't comment for a few hours because I'm going to not be on Reddit, but I am going to talk to her tonight. And tomorrow, or whenever everything has calmed down, I will make an update. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Not the a-hole. Speaking as a professional herbalist, pennyroyal in particular can indeed cause damage to the liver or kidneys, depending on the quantity and potency of how much she consumed. Mugwort is less toxic, but has been known to cause miscarriage as it affects hormone levels significantly. I highly suggest getting a checkup and mentioning ingesting those herbs and how much. That said, this is a relationship-ending decision. While your partner has every right to decide to terminate an unwanted pregnancy, she lied to you, concealed her decision to use a gauge, do-it-yourself and dangerous abortifacient, and then accepted condolences for her miscarriage that she probably caused. This indicates a level of mental health problem that is not safe for any future family plans, let alone the loss of trust for having deceived you to such a degree over such an important, life-changing event. She needs therapy, and you need to leave this relationship or choose to never have children. If she decided at a later time in the pregnancy to take herbs like this, there's a serious risk to both her and a possible child. Just because something is natural doesn't make it safe. Hemlock is natural. Cyanide is natural. I can name 20 plants that could end you or make you wish it had. That's why you need to talk to a qualified herbalist before making up a potion. Seriously, you need to leave this relationship. It's not safe, and she can't be trusted. Original poster replied, "Thank you for this." She won't even tell me how much pennyroyal she took, but she did tell me she drank around 8 strong cups of mugwort. I'm guessing she's worried I'd call an ambulance on her or force her to go to the hospital if she told me how much pennyroyal she took. I didn't fully see how much pennyroyal is left since I didn't get a close look. I'm going to have to recheck in the drawer. I really don't know why she won't tell me. You're right. I think I need to end this relationship, but it might be a mess. I'm going to talk to her tonight whenever I'm not busy. Original poster replied about girlfriend needs to get in therapy because the changes in her behaviors are to be concerned about. You're right, she needs therapy badly after this, but since I can't even have her go to the hospital, I'm not sure how I can even convince her to see a therapist. I'm going to talk to her tonight, and I'm taking some of these comments' advice to see what I can do about this. Commenter 2. I can see two possible reasons why she would do this and act this way. She realized after getting pregnant that she isn't ready to be a mother. Most probable one. The baby wasn't yours, much lower on the probability scale. Original poster replied, I didn't even think about the second choice. For the top choice, I also get. But I'm shocked she wouldn't get a medical abortion instead. She's going to have to deal with the negative side effects of the herbs she took. She knows I'm pro-choice because I'm vocal about it, so I'm shocked she didn't come to me to see if I'd either come with her or she would go herself. We even have a Planned Parenthood near us. Update. Firstly, for some context, we have a Planned Parenthood that specializes in abortions, like 5 minutes away. I understand people thinking she didn't want to get an abortion because of protesters. I completely understand. I drive by that specific place every single day for work. I have seen no protesters. It's usually empty besides a few cars on the side of the road. But I still understand why she wouldn't want a medical abortion from reading the comments. I asked her why. What was her goal here? She was trying really hard to avoid the conversation and left the room. But I apologize if this makes me in butthole, but I told her, if we can't have a conversation about this, I have to end the relationship. She came back in and said the reason why she did this was because she never felt like her family gave her enough attention in life and didn't feel supported by them, so she wanted to tell them she had a miscarriage so they could feel bad for her. I was confused because she could have just gotten a medical abortion and lied about it instead of just harming her body with a toxic herb. I asked her about that, and she told me she wanted to have the experience of having an actual miscarriage. I was so confused and in shock, so I didn't say much else because all of this just sounded crazy to me. She told me she didn't want me mad at her, and she doesn't want to break up, and she was literally begging me to not break up with her. I asked her, is there any chance the baby wouldn't have been mine? She said no. I told her she needs to get therapy as soon as possible. I thankfully make enough to afford therapy, and I told her I will pay for her if she just please go to therapy. She agreed. I also told her she needs to go to the hospital, and I was telling her all of your comments about the septic that can happen and liver and kidney damage, and that kind of scared her into going to the hospital to get checked out. We went to the hospital last night, and thankfully, she is okay. Apparently, she drank around 1 cup of it a day for a few days. I found out she was also taking some other things, high dose of vitamin C, turmeric, parsley. That's pretty much it for now, but I'm not too sure where to go from here. I love her and I do want to be with her, but all of this is so out of the blue. Thanks for all of the comments on the last post. If anything else happens, I'll make another update. Relevant comments, commenter 1. She sounds like she has some serious mental health issues, like others have said. If you choose to stay, then I would be cautious moving forward having kids with her. She's willing to cause herself self-harm for the sake of attention. There is no telling what she would do if you guys have already had the child. I've seen mothers fake their child's illness for attention before. She comes off as deeply troubled and manipulative. I don't think she wants to hurt anyone out of malice, but it's still very concerning. If you stay, therapy is a must. Original poster replied, thank you. Yeah, the idea of having a baby is well off the table now. I'm not too sure where I'm going to go with this, but I'm heavily thinking about leaving the relationship after reading the comments. I'm just worried about her possibly harming herself if I do break up with her. Final update. A lot has happened since my last post, and now everything is calmer. I'm hoping this will be my last update. Apologies since this is going to be long. In my last post, I told her she needed to go to therapy ASAP, told her I will pay and everything. I just hoped for the love of damn God for her to please go to therapy. That was the only thing I wanted. I haven't set up anything yet, because she told me she doesn't want to go to therapy now. She told me she will never do what she did again and doesn't believe she needs therapy. I was going back and forth with her on this, but she was very insistent on not wanting any therapy. I told her I can't move on in this relationship if she doesn't do therapy. She was arguing with me about it and told me if I loved her, I would stay in this relationship regardless. And it wasn't even that big of a deal. I was pretty pissed hearing that, because not only did she purposely miscarry the baby we planned for, she harmed herself for no reason, in her words, to experience an actual miscarriage, and I can't even trust her anymore. I was thinking about telling her parents at this point, and I accidentally brought it up out of worry of her mental health / me being pissed off, and she begged me, got on the ground and begged me to not tell her parents. I took her word because I didn't want her to lose her mind even more over this. I told her I absolutely have to leave this relationship. I told her it isn't my responsibility anymore because this has honestly been making me lose my mind too. I was holding it back, but I can't really take it anymore. Also yesterday, before this fight, she publicly stated on Facebook that she had a miscarriage and was torn up about it, accepting condolences again in the comments. I brought that up to her, and she told me the same thing in my last post. She was pretty much just wanting to feel important to friends, family. She was so nonchalant about it and honestly seemed like she thought I'd think I wouldn't care. I told her to stop posting about it and to stop telling people. Back to when we were having the fight, I told her seriously, I can't be with her anymore. I will allow you to stay here, or you can go back to your parents. She was laying on the ground crying at this point. I had my phone ready because my gut feeling was telling me that she might do something to herself. She would come out of the room she was packing in and come close to me and hug me out of nowhere. She said that if I broke up with her, she wanted a last, final hug. The wildest thing is, she came out of the room with one of my shirts on, a shirt she was not wearing before, took it off right in front of me, and told me, "Here's your shirt back." I don't know what she was trying to do. She finally ended up leaving and went to her parents. Right before she left, she was crying, and I think it started to hit her that I was actually being serious. She was messaging me and calling me constantly, ranging from her just fixing this together, saying she wants therapy now, and her saying she will never do what she did again. I've been ignoring all of it. I realize this is not my responsibility now, and her parents can take care of it. Like what my worry has been, apparently she did try to harm herself. Her mom messaged me about it. She said that her daughter is at the hospital, and I'm assuming now that she tried to end herself. She is physically fine. That is the last of it, and I'm thinking this will be my last update. I am not going back to her, and I'm going to try and stop thinking about all of this, and get a good lock for my door. Thanks for all of the advice on the last post. Edit, I am telling her parents now. If anything happens, I will just update it here. I ended up telling her parents. I had messages relating to this between me and her, took photos of the herbs she used, told them everything. Thankfully, they didn't accuse me or do anything drastic and thanked me for telling them. They said they will tell the hospital what I told them. Not too sure what's going on at the moment or what's going to happen after, since she is being held right now. I will update this if anything else happens. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. I'm glad you pulled yourself out of the relationship because she is not healthy mentally. I do suggest talking to her parents to make sure they get her some real help. Her actions were really messed up. Original poster replied, I'm thinking about telling her parents very soon. I didn't before because I didn't know if it would have been a good idea since they're the pro-life type. I understand she's not my responsibility anymore, but I don't want someone that is going through a mental break to go through even more. Commenter 2. You're not the asshole. It sounds like you've been carrying the weight of a situation far beyond what most people could handle, and you did your best to set healthy boundaries while ensuring her safety by informing her parents. Her refusal to seek therapy, manipulative behavior, and the way she handled the miscarriage, both physically and emotionally, show serious red flags that you're right to step away from. Her mental health is not your responsibility, especially when she refuses help. You've done the right thing by involving her parents, and now you need to focus on your own well-being. Stay firm in your decision, and don't let guilt pull you back into a situation that's unhealthy for both of you. Final update. Other posts are on my profile. It's been over a month since this happened, and things thankfully haven't been crazy. I was in shock pretty bad during this, and it started to hit me, so I've been seeing a therapist about it. As for my ex, her mom has been updating me on her, mostly because how concerned I was for her. I was honestly thinking about blocking her entire family because I wanted to separate myself totally from all and never think about her again, but I decided to keep her mom on my phone for updates at the time. She was in a psych ward for 2 weeks. While I haven't been told a specific diagnosis, she was apparently in psychosis. Her mom has told me she is taking medication and is doing better. The screwed up thing is that her mom has been recently trying to get me to get back together with her, saying her daughter will be a lot happier if I go back to her. I straight up blocked her. I do not want to experience that again, even if she is getting counseling and is on medication. Hell no. I don't know why her mom is doing that. Maybe my ex is giving her a hard time over this? I don't know. Other than that, it's been calm. I've come to the realization that I'm a lot happier without her in my life, and I want it to stay that way. I'm going to stay single for the time being and just stick with myself. Thanks for all of the advice on my other posts. Top comments. Commenter 1. Good on you. Glad everything has settled down for you. Keep doing the best for yourself. Even if you did get back with your ex, it wouldn't have been in either of your best interests, as both of you are struggling mentally, and she destroyed your future with her by forcing a miscarriage. Good luck, and maybe look into adoption if you're still wanting a child. There's a lot of kids needing parents out there. Best to you. Commenter 2. The mother's only priority is her daughter. She knows that if you forgive her, your ex won't have to spend a lot of time processing the true depths of what she did, because she won't have as many consequences to deal with, which could help to stabilize her faster. It would also lessen the burden that the mother has to deal with if you step back in to help care for her. Neither of those reasons are fair to you, but they are understandable. Blocking her is the right choice. She doesn't have your best interests in mind, only hers and her daughter's. You can hope that your ex is well, but it's not your responsibility to ensure it at all. Good luck moving on from this mess. Commenter 3. Man, real proud of you. You handled an awful, terrible, unspeakable betrayal so well. Please take care of yourself. Reach out to friends and family. Don't be alone too much. Eat good. Gym time.